You got breast cancer, then about her dream. Do you know anyone who's ever had breast cancer? The ACO of the person recovered. Nipande from one. It's important started our conversation on breast cancer and there. Breast cancer and your Mrs. Na they do. Our young chain only about breast cancer home come back home be in Sambia opposite Umbisano. No, don't worry. Much ready but you can still send in your comments. Now you who question cry over Emma Anton. Madam Ye. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
About your, I wanted to go straight into this whole breast cancer issue. Okay. So, for the first thing, does that mean why they breast cancer?
Okay, so breast cancer basically, a cocrum. It is the abnormal growth, and I make a sign in simple terms. Okay. Abnormal growth of the breast cells. Once the cells come together to make tissues, now if they are bare organs and into cells now, what breast it starts growing abnormally. Once it starts growing abnormally, it is referred to as breast cancer.
Is it like a reaction or something?
Not a reaction per se, but that's why I said it's the abnormal, your own cells in the breast, your own cells that are supposed to grow normally. But they tend to grow abnormally. The cells tend to grow abnormally, and that's just breast cancer.
Okay, into breast cancer, no, Mbappe and Mbema breast cancer.
So far as you have a breast, our breast there, utuminya breast cancer. But as I'm saying, it means that men are also likely to get breast cancer, but rare. But you have maybe a member best 100 back home, and I'll be breast cancer, but it's relatively high with females. In I say member say breast cancer into me but it can affect both male and female, but with the males it's rare.
Okay, so I just want to know, say, how can somebody find out? And I say, how would the person know, say, or breast cancer?
Okay, so then it means that is going to lead us to the signs and symptoms of breast cancer. Once you have your cell starts to grow abnormally, there are cardinal signs. It's like we are preaching early detection because so some of the signs and symptoms are in tempera. Abba. No, the breast has ducts and some lobes. Lobes, but I don't know how to say that in Tree. Like I don't can we no for na say what mean say nyama bi ni nemu a obi wa also mana a movie so mana and I say like it's not necessarily moving, but me out me say maybe those ones are not but lamp na make no sometimes no immovable. E bin so what happen say you just feel it because it's different, quite different from the normal anatomy of the breast.
Okay.
So back on the cell secondly, it to me reddened. That's a sign of inflammation. Say I red. Once I say do blunt force be exactly, the place becomes reddening, and then we have reddened. We have thickening of the breast. Okay. Thick. No, the breast skin of the breast na thick. Now it is swollen.
Okay.
And then we have another one now, dimpling of the breast. I don't know, kind of orange depot in French, but it just simply means that the skin of the breast will now look like the skin of an orange. Meaning so far orange, I won't say a dimp like dot be na okay. That's how the breast will look like. So that is another form it was say ututu anamona uko. E bin so your inverted nipple. When no for your nipple no ejina so. By the moment I be say nipple no co inside no, then it means there's a problem. It's not supposed to be like that. Into one cardinal sign and so of when e bin so your nipple discharge. Say we no for no breastfeed. Naturally, say if you are not breastfeeding, there should be no fluid coming from your breast or from your nipple. Into the moment I said, "Oh, discharges be sometimes it's a bloody."
A bloody.
What you mean? Who say I don't know blood kakra? It will move exactly. Then you get to know say a sign of breast cancer. It means so a change in the size and shape of the breast.
Before we go to the change in size of the breast with the discharge, no. Some people obi catch say mostly discharge with say yellowish.
Okay.
While she's not breastfeeding.
Okay.
Is that normal or it always has to be a bloody discharge?
That's what I'm saying, that naturally or ideally, if you are not breastfeeding, you shouldn't get any fluid coming from your breast.
Okay, so
the moment I'm saying that once the nipple is discharging,
okay,
sometimes could be bloody. So it means anything you are seeing in air out, it better me I pass. To say be a pipe pompo.
Okay.
Insiona efimo ebano. Those things. Sometimes it contains blood. That's what I'm talking of. Not necessarily say color, no say yellow and answer. If you are not breastfeeding, you shouldn't get fluid or discharge coming from the nipple or the breast.
Okay,
so the other one is changes in the size and shape of the breast. The breast affected, the breast affected might change in size from the original one. I mentioned swelling. So a bit me I can see us in the normal one.
Okay.
So there'll be changes in the size, and then finally pain in the area. I be a lump and I say, feel pain you can't deal with. But normally once pain setting in, then it might mean that the stages of cancer and also progressing. That is why we are preaching that you do the self checks so that now we are preaching early detection because there's treatment of breast cancer.
So now the moment if I am not breastfeeding and then I see a discharge, should that push me to see the doctor, or
exactly.
I need to see another sign to confirm say
no
so the moment I am not breastfeeding, I see
once there is any change or deviation from the normal, you shouldn't be sitting home.
Okay.
Even if it is not breast cancer, any deviation as an individual. So once there is a deviation in your normal duties or like changes in your body, you need to visit a health center, not necessarily a hospital, and then they will do the further investigations, because I cannot sit here and then clearly state that once you see any discharge, if you are not breastfeeding, go to a health center, let them do further investigations, and then if it is confirmed that maybe hormone bina ama unya discharge way, and I say they'll work on that one for you.
Okay.
So if you see any deviation from the normal, you need to visit the nearest hospital, if I may say.
Okay. So now I want us to talk about prevention.
Okay.
How do we prevent breast cancer?
All right. So with breast cancer, we didn't state, but with cancers, there's no known cause.
Okay.
She knew her pain point to say more way and the breast cancer eba. Exactly. So we say we have risk factors. So when we talk of the prevention, we are talking of trying as much as possible to reduce the risk factors. And there are cases whereby so they don't have risk factors, but your diagnosis of the breast cancer. So with the prevention, all we say is you keep a healthy diet. Once you eat well, your immunity is boosted. If your immunity is boosted, your body in turn is in a fit phase to fight against some infection. In fact, fight against most infections. Immunity is stronger. Na maybe a bubu obino. Ebe mawo we deal with it kakra. Yeah. So it's eating healthily, exercising regularly. The exercising, we have the leisure exercise, and then we have the clear cut one. The why Jane say about 9 p.m. and I about 6 a.m. make a gym. And your leisure ones now your friend ebia Menante Akol Junction is so abba.
Okay.
Exactly. But you need to do exercises regularly. One way keep people fit to withstand any form of disease beyond this breast cancer. We're also saying that you avoid alcohol because alcohol is also a risk factor. Nowadays, when I go to places, I don't say limit the intake of alcohol, because when I say limit, people tend to ask me what is more and what is limiting, because somebody can take 5 bottles of Guinness, because we are limiting. Exactly. So it's all about you avoiding alcohol. And then another risk factor, what one is say, yeah, one cophobia oral contraceptives, especially the combined ones. No more oral contraceptives, and I say we are higher risk.
For those people who don't know what oral contraceptive is,
in June, de a boy who buying a fini saying,
okay,
intino, so you'll be at Tanum San June for a very long period of time. Betty Mania, intino, to prevent it, we preach that you don't take oral contraceptive for long periods of time. Okay.
So everything we are doing here is giving out the awareness of breast cancer.
Exactly.
On the part of the media, do you think say or you being a nurse?
Okay, I must say that, and I must commend say Bano Ghana we are doing our best, because you see when the World Health Organization brought the Pinktober, as in the month of October, for breast cancer awareness, and then in the month of October, almost every hospital does free screening, whereby you can easily walk into any, especially government hospital, and then ask that your breast be screened or be checked. Where because of the word cancer, in our part of the world, cancers are believed say we are. I
see.
So the turnout is not too great, but as we are sensitizing people, creating the awareness more, and then other people doing NGOs are trying to capitalize on the month and then do more awareness creation. It's better than previous years, I must say.
Okay. One more, they are a bit sensitive when somebody touches their body.
Okay.
If the person wants to do a self-examination or anything.
Oh, okay. With a self-examination, there were ways be bright, There were circular motion. There were the lateral or parallel motion, and there was wedge-shaped motion.
But for those who will be watching our YouTube page,
okay, so for you to be able to know if there's any deviation from the normal, it is for you to know yourself. First of all, you need to know how your body looks like. So we are encouraging people to be looking into the mirror whilst they do this thing. So when you're standing in front of the mirror, you need to check the symmetry of the breasts. You need to check say are they like the same, and those things, the size, whether the chest, your muscles of the breast move whilst you move, because that's the best thing to do. It's you just raise your hands. When you raise your hands, your breast must also, the tissues must also come up. Into peja onsa na se un se wenufu no ni nyina peja, and I say into me peja ni ma, then there's a problem. Exactly. And then you need to lean forward into uko we ni monso. I was say breast tissues no so ba. Exactly. When it doesn't come, then it means there's a problem.
Meaning say atiato.
And you said atiato, when you for atiato, once you lean forward, there should be that movement of the breast too. Exactly. The breast shouldn't be affixed, as in why stuck on the it has to move, because it's a muscle and has to move too.
Okay.
That's how it's supposed to be like. And then you turn sideways to check the symmetry. Into be turning sideways in the mirror now. I was say in line with the other one, and the best way to even know sideways, you might not see the other one, and then you do the same for the others. And then once you are done, you can do this examination whilst you are lying down or whilst you are standing, maybe in the shower. We use with soap and a gel now. And man, easier. Say obe rub your hands no around. Into me pajamas and other one sano I share with Tiko say. So if I'm standing like this and I want to examine my right breast, then my right hand will go behind my head like this, just to create a firm area. Because me said that who say na I don't need a bojo. Me pese a firm. Tina be me miana te bibi woman me hu. Exactly. So you raise your hand, put your hand behind your head like this. No, not fede shapes. Me can say you wedge, you pearl, you circular. So I'll do the circular one. But the breast starts from the armpit. Like I had say once a bit more can say in can for back can say ngashi fufo.
It is a good we am at the studio to try the examination. We should all start our examination today. Okay,
so your hand behind as you are standing, you just start from your armpit like this. Exactly. Sorry, you need to divide the breast into four. You make sure that you work on every quadrant.
Okay.
So one son watch him for Baba shall say fee.
Every part of it.
Exactly. Into shall say fee. I'm to many say na de enya one say person enya fingertips.
Okay.
Like one son no, but not fingertips. No, exactly. Emuni saying now they are two. Maybe a four, like all 4 or 3 fingers. You can do that. Now for the umiani say na oko. Nti say a circle. Into be mia na oko circle. But you be away no fu no emodu. To say me there ya. It means you go like this, and then make sure you come again until you in the circular till you get to the nipple. Exactly. But the minimum oko one pair, you are okay.
Should you feel the pain when doing it?
You shouldn't feel any pain. That is why you don't need to apply pressure. Pressure be high no. Although fingertips and so you won't feel if there's any lump. Pressure be apply pressure there. Exactly.
So
sorry, and I said who call roundness and I'll do nipple now. The man who say discharge and I'll be anymore. It be no way to say in between the nipple, no ma press it. And he say insuo be ba, and some people too are saying me person make any na na baby what will baby a ebi no so be mia nipple no kakra enye den to like bring out something, but mia kakra say insuo wo ma eno abepa. So it's either lock it nipple ni say no be mia and as scissors now they are two exact no mia enufuo no mia we say bibi discharge bi wo ma it will come. Or you can hold the nipple and then give it a gentle squeeze.
Okay.
So no soon be woman, it will also come out.
Now my last question. But it is them to say boyfriends, husbands, or mumia FFA no for no. They may say breast cancer. Others are also saying
it doesn't. So now no research, there's no evidence.
Okay.
No research has come out to say that if somebody suckles your breast or fondles your breast, you will you are at a high risk or you are at a risk of getting breast cancer. And no research or no evidence has come out to also say that if it is not done, you will get breast cancer. So for now, for that one, I would say suckling is permitted, but we should all know that too much of a thing is bad. So like I say, suckling, that one is if it is your thing, you can continue, but there's no evidence.